Hello to everyone and welcome to the 3 by the Sea Designs YouTube channel. My name is Kim and this is a podcast, a knitting podcast primarily, where I talk about everything 3 by the Sea related. 3 by the Sea Designs is a small business that I own with my mom, Dreama, and my sister, Becky. We have an online Etsy shop where we sell handmade project bags, stitch markers, and hand-dyed yarn. So thank you so much for joining me today. This is episode 36. Today is Friday, October 20th. Yes, Friday, October 20th. And it's around 12 p.m. It took me all morning to get ready to record. I had so much to prep and prepare for. So because it's been about 3 weeks since I've podcast last, and I have so much to talk to you about and show you and share with you about things coming up and things that I've been working on. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy this podcast episode, and let's go ahead and get started. I hope you all are enjoying your fall season so far. I know for us here, there was a bit of a weather change and some cooler temperatures and lower humidity levels here in Florida, which was so nice, such a nice break from the high 80s and 90s that we normally get. So we've really been enjoying those cooler temperatures for us. And I hope you are all enjoying some cooler weather as well, wherever you are. So grab one of your projects, one of your whips, and settle in for some cozy podcast knitting, I guess you could call it, or crocheting, whatever you are working on. So I do have knitting to show you today. Do I have any crochet? No. I have knitting to show you today. I have 2 new whips, 2 new cast-ons. And I do have a finished object, but it's not mine. It's my mom's. She brought it over this morning for me to show you, as well as one of her whips that she's working on. Let me talk to you a little bit about some shop news because we have some exciting news coming up. Well, first of all, let me talk about the yarn that we added to the shop. So a few days ago, we restocked some of our fall collection. We restocked, let me just show you. So from the fall collection, we've restocked Fairy Ring. And we added Fairy Ring on Surrey. So pretty. We also restocked Bejeweled. We have Bejeweled singles as well as sock sets. we restocked the Bejeweled Minis set. Look how beautiful. 7 20-gram minis in these gorgeous jewel tones. This goes perfectly with Bejeweled, as well as with Fairy Ring, as well as with Weathered Wood. Looks really great with Weathered Wood. We put Bejeweled on our Surrey base. This would be so pretty together if you held these together in a project. I'm curious to see what Bejeweled on Surrey would look like with Weathered Wood. That would be gorgeous. Or with Fairy Ring, you could hold it double. Or you could use it with the minis. So there's so many different options you could do there. We added everything back on DK as well as our MCN base. So Destin DK and Coquina MCN. We have a brand new color that we brought to the shop as well called Night Sky. Look how gorgeous. This is a beautiful, bright navy blue color. And it looked just like this picture that I'll put up here of a night sky. When we were dyeing this color, because this is in the minis set. So when we were dyeing this color, I was like, gosh, this looks so much like a night sky with stars. And so I started looking around at pictures and I found this beautiful inspiration picture, and it just absolutely looked just like this blue. So we decided to name this Night Sky. We have it on Sanibel, which is our fingering weight, 75-25. We have it on our Coquina base, which is MCN. We have Destin, which is DK. Looks so gorgeous on the DK. And we also dyed it on our Surrey. It's 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 20%, 26% silk. It's a lace weight. This is our St. Augustine base. So Night Sky is a brand new colorway to the shop. Now, Night Sky looks beautiful with the colorway that we have called Fireside. Fireside is a colorway that we had in the shop earlier this year, like beginning of summertime. So we brought it back because it looked so beautiful with Night Sky, and it has that same blue color in it, kind of spread all throughout. So it looks great with Fireside. Here they are on DK. Let me show you. This is one of the sock sets. So we have Fireside on our singles or as a sock set, the DK sock set, as well as the fingering weight sock set. But Fireside has all of the beautiful fall colors with the oranges and the greens and the browns, and we just thought it would be perfect for fall for this time of year. So Fireside is back in the shop. What else? I saw that we had one skein of Spooky Soiree left on our Destin DK base. So I wanted to show that to you. There's only one left. It comes with 2 minis, a purple and an orange. And this was our fun Halloween colorway this year, one of them. So if you liked Spooky Soiree, snag the last one. It's on our DK base. So everything that I showed you, we have pretty much across all of our bases. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you is because this was not in the shop before. So Pink Sapphire has pretty much sold out. I think we have a couple left here and there. Yes, we have one DK weight. Look at Pink Sapphire on the DK. So pretty. And then I had a customer request some Pink Sapphire on our Surrey base. So we went ahead and dyed Pink Sapphire on Surrey as well. So there's one or two of those left in the shop. And then we have Pink Sapphire on our Amelia Gold Stellina base. Those are the only three bases that we have Pink Sapphire left on. We may have a couple of chocolate raspberry truffle left. This is what the sock set looked like. I'm not sure if they are sold out yet. Looks like we may have one left. But this is what the sock set looked like with the pink mini. Just head over and check out the shop. It's all of these are under our fall collection section in our Etsy shop, and there is lots still there. So go take a look and see what we have available. We try to make colorways that we know will go well together. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of it when you're trying to figure out a project. Night Sky looks so pretty with pretty much everything that we have. It looks great with weathered wood. It looks great with fairy ring. It would look great with the Bejeweled Minis set as well. It would look really pretty with any of the Surrey. So just go take a look and see if there's anything that you would like to have. I also wanted to let you know that all of our fall and Halloween stitch markers and progress keepers are all on sale right now. I think they're 25% off. So definitely take advantage of that while you are shopping for all of this new yarn, because after the fall season, we will pull anything remaining out of the shop to make room for Christmas and winter themed stitch markers. So what else do I have to show you? Our next mystery yarn set is coming to the shop tomorrow on Saturday. We'll probably put it up at noon Eastern like we normally do. This is a Grinch themed mystery set. Here is the inspiration picture. We are super excited about this set, and it will be a full 100-gram skein of our Sanibel Base 7525 Superwash Merino Nylon Fingering Weight yarn. And it will have a coordinating 20-gram mini in the same base. We are doing something a little bit different this time. Instead of offering a stitch marker, like a progress keeper to go with it, we thought it would be fun to switch things up a little bit and offer a mystery needle stoppers. So we are bringing needle stoppers to the shop for Christmas, or for our Christmas update. We will have, I think, 3 or 4 different ones, maybe 5 different Christmas and winter themed stitch stoppers, needle stoppers. I'm not really sure what to call them. They're pretty much, I think we're going to call them needle stoppers. The needle stoppers for the Grinch mystery set will be optional. You do not have to purchase those, but they will be super cute and very specifically Grinch themed. So you would, if you love the Grinch and you would like to have a pair of needle stoppers, these are definitely something that you are going to want to get. So that will be going up for sale in our Etsy shop starting tomorrow on Saturday. It will ship out at the end of November, like around the 24th, 25th. I don't know. We have to look and see when Thanksgiving is and make sure that we send them out right before that. So you have them just in time for the beginning of December for Christmas knitting. So let me talk a little bit about what the needle stoppers are. This is an example. This is not the set that's going to be in the mystery set, but this is a set of needle stoppers that we are going to be having in our Christmas update in November. They look like this. This is a pair of Christmas trees. They are a silicone material, so they're soft and they're pliable, but they have a hole here at the bottom. This is the hole that the needles go in when you set your projects down or you're putting them back into your project bag and you don't want your stitches to fall off of the needles. They fit every size except for a US 0 and a US 1, which is a 2 millimeter and a 2.25 millimeter. What I do for those size needles is I put both needles in to the hole. I'll take a little video now, or I'll put up a little video here of me showing you what I'm talking about. But for every other needle size, I tried all of them. They fit. Let me show you an example. I have my interchangeable set that has like every needle size possible. So I started down here. This is a US 5, which is a 3.75 millimeter. So you basically insert the needle just like that. You don't want to push it in too far, but you'll know when it's all the way in because you won't be able to push it in anymore. So it looks like that, and it does not come off very easily. You have to kind of wiggle it out like that. I tried every single size needle that I have, and it's wooden needles or metal needles. It works on both of them. Even on this gigantic size US 17, which is a 12 millimeter, it fits that size as well. So that's so exciting about these because it kind of takes the guesswork. Like I love the Cocoa Knits stitch stoppers where it's just the little foam, the round foam insert that you put on the needles. But I like these better because they're super cute. There's like a million different themes that you can come up with for these. And it takes the guesswork out of, well, is that the right size for that needle? These fit all of your needles no matter what, except for those two tiniest ones, the 0 and the 1. But again, what I do for those is I just put both needles in because the needles are small enough to fit into the hole together. So that's something that's really exciting. We have these coming to the shop. They'll be sold as a pair. We also have these super cute winter hats coming to the shop as well. So that will be a pair also. And we have some other Christmas ones. We have some coffee ones coming as well. So, but I just wanted to show you these and kind of talk to you about them and how they work. And the pair of needle stoppers that are going to be offered with the Grinch mystery set are obviously Grinch themed. So they're super, super cute. And if you, like I said, if you love Grinch, you'll definitely want to get those. Our last mystery sock set was called Grinning Ghosts. This was the inspiration picture for it. And I think it's pretty safe now to say that we can go ahead and show you what the yarn looked like. I have some pictures of them. So I will put the pictures up here. It was a beautiful, spooky, ghosty looking colorway that just looked exactly like the Haunted Mansion at Disney World, and all of the colors that come along with it. So I have two projects to show you. One of them was one of the ones my mom was working on, as well as I cast on a pair of socks that are in this colorway as well. So I'm excited to show you guys those in just a few minutes, but I wanted to show you what the yarn looked like because it was a mystery. So we tried to wait as long as possible to make sure that everybody got there. So we've gotten lots of good feedback about the yarn. Everyone seemed to love it. So we're excited to see all of your projects. Make sure you tag us if you post on Instagram or Facebook, and let us know how your projects are going with your Grinning Ghosts mystery set. The only other thing I wanted to tell you about is our next update will be our Christmas and winter update. It will be Saturday, November 18th at noon Eastern Time in our Etsy shop. And I will do a preview video, of course, before then. It's not that far away, only a few weeks away. So I'll do a preview video to show off everything. We will have new yarn, stitch markers, and project bags. And we're bringing back a couple of yarns, Christmas yarns from last year, Christmas Island and Cookies for Santa. And then we will also have some new colorways as well coming to the shop. So we're very excited about that. And new project bags, new prints. Everything is, we've got new stitch markers, all of it. Everything is super cute. We're so excited to share it all with you in just a few weeks. And the update will be on the 18th. So I have a whip and a finished object to show you at the same time. The finished object is a cowl that my mom made out of our Grinning Ghost colorway. Again, this is what the colorway looked like. And I made a couple of extras because I knew I wanted one and she wanted one as well. So she made a cowl out of hers, and I started a pair of socks with mine. And we were so curious to see how the yarn would look because it's a highly variegated yarn. And we were so curious to see how the yarn would look in different projects. So we thought it would be fun. So she made a cowl, which is, they're both knit in the round, socks and the cowl. But they're at different stitch counts. Obviously, the cowl has a much larger stitch count than my socks. So it was very interesting to see how the yarn came out in both projects. So let me show you the cowl. She made the Slipstream Cowl by Louise Zass-Bangham, I think it's called. Looks like this. And it's a short cowl, and it kind of lays flat around this area of your neck and then kind of cinches up as it gets taller up closer to your face. So the Slipstream Cowl. And she used the Grinning Ghosts colorway. So here is what it looks like. She blocked it and pinned it out. So this is the top and this is the bottom. Look how cute it turned out. So spooky looking. We love it. She used the mini for some pops of color. She did modify it a little bit, so I am going to tell you what she did to modify it. She said, she wrote me some notes. She said for the main colorway, the Grinning Ghost, she used 45 grams. And for the mini, she used 7 grams. So this is actually a very quick project. It does not take a lot of yarn at all, which is pretty cool. This would be a great stash buster. If you have any leftover yarns, this would be a great pattern as well. She used a 3mm US 2.5 needles with a 16-inch cable, and that's probably what it called for. 3mm. Yes, that is what it called for in the pattern. So the modifications, she added stripes of color at the cast on. So she wanted to use the mini that came with the set. So this area at the bottom, she cast on with the teal mini and did a couple of rows on the ribbing before she switched to the main color. Am I showing you the back or the front? I can't really tell which way's the back or the front. She added a stripe of color at the neckline where the pattern originally ends. So the pattern actually ends here, right before you get to that where you see that next stripe of color. That's where the pattern ends, but she wanted to keep going and added some ribbing at the top. So this whole top section is a modification that she did where she added ribbing at the top. She said she added 5 rows of ribbing at the neckline after the blue stripe. So she added some rows here after the blue, and then she added the stripe of blue in the same rib pattern, and she cast off with that blue color as well. She said the pattern suggests steam blocking, but the cowl was just soaked and pinned. She didn't steam block it. She just soaked it and then pinned it out like you would any other garment. I love this detail in the design here as well as here. It looks pretty simple, maybe like a slip stitch pattern. And it just turned out super, super cute. So that is the Slipstream Cowl. Now, my socks that I cast on are, I think, just plain vanilla. I'm doing them not 2 at a time, but in tandem. So I'm doing them separately, but at the same time. I also used the teal mini, and here are how mine are turning out so far. They're so cute. Little stripes. Almost like a micro striping kind of effect going on. So what I did with the mini, you guys know I love to fade things. So I faded the mini in on the cuff. In the past, when I made my Blossoms Over Tokyo socks, I faded the mini out once I got to the leg. But I thought it would be cute to try to fade the mini in on the actual cuff. So that's why you see some teal. Like I started with the mini, did a couple of rows, and then I started fading in that main color. This was the Progress Keeper that came with the set. Little smiling grim, he's a grim grinning ghost. So I'm doing them at the same time. Let's see, this one I'm a little bit further on, I think. This is what the yarn looks like caked up. It's got pops of green and blue and black and purple, little speckles of purple everywhere. And this is what the mini looked like. So that was them together. So it's so interesting to see how different projects produce a different outcome based on whatever you're working on. Obviously, you can tell these are the same yarns, but they look completely different. So if you ever have a yarn that you don't like how it's looking in one project, you could always frog the project and save that yarn for a different type of project. Like if you don't like the way it's looking in socks, save it for another project. So this just is a great visual way of seeing how a highly variegated yarn, yarns that are speckled or yarns that are tonal or not a lot of different pops of color, they're pretty much going to knit up the same way. But yarns that are highly variegated, where you have blocks of color, it's very interesting to me to see how they knit up in different projects. Like a swatch is great to have, but it doesn't truly give you an idea of what that yarn is going to look like. It gives you some idea, but not until you really start knitting on it do you truly know how it's going to look. So I just loved seeing the visual difference in the two projects. What can I say about these? I'm just making them vanilla, plain vanilla, no pattern. I'm using a 2.25 millimeter needle, 9-inch circulars, and I am knitting them both at the same time. I tried knitting them 2 at a time, like on the same needle. And because I really want to like that method, like I want to be able to do socks 2 at a time like that, but it's just so annoying. I don't know what it is about it. I think because the yarn split and you've got string everywhere and things get tangled, and I have not figured out a way yet to do them 2 at a time to where it isn't fiddly. And maybe there isn't a way. I don't know. Maybe there is. If you have any advice on 2 at a time socks, I would love to hear it. But I don't know. I don't mind doing it this way, actually. And if this prevents me from getting second sock syndrome, that's totally fine. I will do things this way. Also, I wanted to do them 2 at a time too, because whenever I'm doing them patterned like a specific way like this, where I'm fading in the heel, the cuff, I wanted to make sure that they were both the same. So that was another reason why I had started them 2 at a time. Because sometimes if you knit a sock and then you don't knit the second sock for, weeks or a month or so or longer, you forget what you did. And if you didn't write it down, you're just kind of looking at your first sock and guessing, what did I do there? So at least for me, that's happened plenty of times in the past. So if I do them both at the same time, it's fresh in my mind and I don't have to sit there and try to remember what I've done. So I'm really happy with these. I'm enjoying making them and I'm loving how they're striping. I think it's super cute. I've seen some other people so far, their projects, they're making, I think, socks with them so far is what I've seen. And they're turning out adorable. So I hope you guys liked your Grinning Ghosts mystery sock set. And I have a feeling that you will also like your Grinch mystery set as well. We have really been enjoying making the mystery sets. We love the mystery behind it and the anticipation of it. We love making the inspiration pictures and drawing inspiration for the yarn colorways from those pictures and from those colors. And we always pick themes that we love and that we would want to have in a yarn set. So we're so glad that you guys have been loving the mystery sets, and I hope you guys love the Grinch one that's coming out tomorrow as well. We've gotten lots of great feedback on it so far, so I'm hoping that that you guys love it. And if you didn't purchase an advent calendar or have anything mystery to open during the Christmas season, purchase this mystery sock set, because while it's not something that you can open every single day like an advent calendar is, it is something fun and mysterious that you'll get in the mail, almost like a gift to yourself. And then you will have some super cute Christmassy colored yarn to work on for the Christmas season. So, enough about that. Let's talk about some other whips. I wanted to show you one of the whips that my mom is working on. She has this in this beautiful Dragonflies project bag. This is perfect for fall, actually. This bag, I think she said, was inspired by Outlander. She thought the print, it reminded her of the Dragonflies in Amber theme from Outlander. In fact, that's one of the names of the books. So she is working on this pattern. It's from the Vogue Knitting Magazine Winter 2019/2020. This is the cover, and this is actually the pattern that she is working on. It's called the Klein Wrap by Georgia Farrell. Let me see if I can find it in here. I think that's it. And she is using, okay, so the pattern calls for worsted weight yarn, but my mom is using a fingering weight yarn and a Surrey held double, so that makes it like a DK weight. Plus she added stitches, her stitch count she added to make up for the fact that it's not worsted weight, but it's just beautiful. So let me show you where she's at so far. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is because she used Fireside and Satchel held double. She used Satchel on our fingering weight Sanibel base, and the Surrey is actually the Fireside. Look how gorgeous. I would be so curious and interested to see. So since she's using the Satchel is the Surrey. No, sorry. The Fireside is the Surrey. So this is, maybe I'll dye some more of this. I don't know. If anyone's interested in Satchel, I keep saying Satchel, in Fireside on Surrey, let me know and we can add some to the shop. And then she's using Satchel as the tonal. And the reason, but it's just so fascinating to see how the Surrey changes everything. So gorgeous. Now, what you could do is the opposite of what my mom did. She held Satchel in fingering weight with Fireside on Surrey. But what if you did it the opposite way and held these two together? I wonder if it would look the same. It probably would, because I don't know. I'm very, very curious to see these two held double. Now this is on our Venice base, which is mohair and silk lace weight. And then this is Fireside on our Sanibel base. We also have it on DK. You could hold those two double, but would it look the same as this one? I think it probably would look very, very similar. It might be a little bit lighter, maybe. I don't know. I really have no idea. I was so curious to see how these would look. But Fireside is absolutely gorgeous. It is variegated, but it's a very random variegation. It's not blocks of colors. So you are going to get those colors to pop all throughout, just like on this project. So gorgeous. So I just had to show this to you guys because we have Fireside finally back in the shop. And if you are interested in getting it on Surrey, you know, comment and let me know, and or send us a message, reach out to us, and I will see if I can dye some on the Surrey. But this would be absolutely gorgeous together as well. My next work in progress is the Anker Tee that I'm working on. I have it in my coffee project bag from 3 by the Sea. And I have made quite a bit of progress on it, even though it doesn't look like much progress. It is, and I'll explain to you why in just a moment. So this is the Anker Tee by Petite Knit. It is a fingering weight tee, and it looks like this. And it is the whole yoke of the tee of the top is 1 by 1 ribbing, and you're increasing as you go through each section. But that's, I think, why it's taking me so long, because the 1 by 1 ribbing takes a while. So this is where I was last time, where that progress keeper is here. So I've done all of this since then. And like I said, that doesn't look like a lot, but when you're doing 1 by 1 ribbing and fingering weight with like 300 stitches on the needles, it can take quite a bit of time. So this is the top, the neckline. So it's going to be really pretty. I'm going to be happy with it, but if you don't like 1 by 1 ribbing or any type of ribbing at all, I would not recommend this. This is one of those where you love the product, the end result, more than you love the actual knitting of it. It's been fine so far. The pattern's great. It's very easy to read. I actually really like the way she wrote the pattern. It's just taking a while, and that's totally fine. This is the yarn is a cotton linen blend. It is something that I can wear year round, so I'm not worried about it being done, you know, for a specific season, because here in Florida, I can just layer this in the wintertime and it'll be completely fine. It's very soft. I think I'm going to really love the final product. So I'm on the last section. For this size, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm on the 5th section of the ribbing. So that I'm on the very last section of that. I just started it. So, and then I'll keep going after that. I think it'll go a lot faster once the ribbing is done, and then I'll split, like once you get to the point where you split the sleeve for the sleeves and just do the body, it'll take no time compared to this part. It's gonna look really, really pretty on though. Sorry if the microphone gets scratched. I'm very happy and excited to get this one done. Like I said, I love the pattern. I just hate 1 by 1 ribbing. I shouldn't say I hate it, but I dislike the time that it takes. It's very time consuming. So that's that. I've made some progress on my cozy comfort throw. I have it in this gigantic extra large drawstring bag. My mom said that she most likely will have these in our Christmas winter update. It may be a different accent color for the accent fabric, but she's going to check and see what she has. But it'll only be available in extra large. So I've made quite a bit of progress on my blanket. This is a blanket for my mom that I am making. This is the Cozy Comfort Throw by Molly Klein of Homespun House. Let's see. You can't really see much from the picture, but it's a great Advent project to use your Advent minis. I pulled from row 1 minis, so pretty much all of these colors are row 1 minis, with a few exceptions here and there of just leftovers and scraps that I had. But I'm making it in sort of some fall colors, earth tones that my mom loves. So here's where I'm at so far. So last time I showed it, I was there where that progress keeper is. So I've done, I don't know, maybe 6 inches or so, almost 6 inches since then. This is held double, so it's 2 fingering weight yarns held double, so it makes it DK weight. It's so squishy. And I love the marled look that it's giving. Each mini that I have is 10 grams. So every about inch or so, the colors are changing. Maybe a little more than an inch. So I started with greens, and then I moved into some grays and blues, and now I'm going into some reds and purples. So I'm trying to make it look as fall-like as possible. I will get into some oranges and teals and more blues and some yellows and browns, just to kind of give it a very earth toned fall vibe to it. And the main color I'm using is just a undyed skein of yarn that is I think it's an 85-15 superwash merino nylon blend. It's very plump. I am using one size bigger. This is the color I'm on currently. I'm using one size bigger than what the pattern called for, so I'm using a US 9, which is a 5.5 millimeter needle. I'm using my Luca interchangeable set. And that's it. I'm just going to keep going. I've been keeping all of the minis that I'm going to use in a little bag inside of here, and then I have the other colors all separated out in another basket. So I'm excited. It says you're going to use you end up using 5 of these, and I've used 2 so far. This is the very beginning of the 3rd one. So I'm almost halfway done with it, which is exciting. I'm hoping to have this done by Christmas so I can give it to her for Christmas. The last whip I have to show you is in my large zipper pumpkin spice and everything nice bag. I love the inside. This is a 3 by the Sea bag. So I started a magical thinking shawl, I guess, wrap. I don't really know what she calls it. She doesn't ever really call it anything. It's kind of like a poncho, swancho type thing. I've actually made this before. This is by Casapinka. And it goes over your shoulders. You could bunch it up around your neck to make it like a true like cowl, or it can go over your shoulders like a shawl. It's almost kind of like a shawl and a wrap and a poncho, all not really swancho, but it's a poncho kind of. I don't know. It's just a cover, and it's I've made two of them actually. I've made this one and another pattern that she has called the All Points South, which is very similar to this, just a different patterning in the same design though, pretty much. Anyway, I've made this one before, but I've never made it for myself. I made one for my mom, and I've made one for someone else in my family. I can't remember who, but I've never made one for myself. So I thought I'm going to make one for me, and I'm going to make one for Olivia. So I started, for me, the magical thinking. For Olivia, I'm going to make the All Points South. So the pattern calls for 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and you want them to be very different. Very I would recommend like she recommends them being more tonal or speckled, something that's very high contrast. So I decided to use our new colorway called Night Sky. So this is the blue. And I'm using this pink. This is from the Yarnable. This was in my Yarnable subscription box a couple of years ago. I'm pretty sure this colorway is called Sweet Pea. Let me just double check. Yes, this is Sweet Pea Yarnable by Hypnotic Yarn. It's so pretty. And I'm using a Ecru color that I dyed a few months ago, maybe in the beginning of the year. It's been a little while. I was testing out a new dye color, and I wanted to see what this would look like. It's just a gorgeous creamy color. The dye color was called Ecru. That's why I'm calling it that. So I'm using all 3 of these together, which provides a lot of contrast, and it's, to me, very appealing to the eye. I've gotten through the top section of the cowl section, and I've started the increases. So is this the front? Yes, so this is the front. This section here at the top is what she calls the cowl section, where you're just knitting in the round just like you would a regular cowl. And then you start, once you get to this pink section, you start your increases, and the increases go throughout the whole pattern. So that's what gives you this sort of shape that comes out like that. And I'm just loving it. Even though I've made this pattern before, it was with completely different colors, and I'm just obsessed. Like, I'm just as obsessed this time as I remember being last time when I made this for my mom. I love the striping. There's some patterning in there mixed in with the stripes. This section is also a patterned section. It's so simple, but it provides such a beautiful pattern. Look at my adorable progress keeper. We have this sweet little owl in the shop right now. And I am just obsessed with this. This is all I've been wanting to work on. And like I said, I've made this pattern before, and there are very few patterns out there that I want to make again, but this has definitely been one of them. Casapinka's patterns are all very, very addicting, in my opinion. I've never knit anything of hers that I didn't like. And I've always said every time I've knit something of hers that I would knit that again. So that's where I'm at. I'm very, very, very excited about this one. Now, Olivia's is going to look completely different. So let me grab hers because I haven't started hers yet. So hers kind of falls into my future plans and my dream knitting, but it's actually not a dream because it's more in my future plans. Okay, so for Olivia's my daughter, I am going to make her one very similar. This one is called the All Points South. So Casapinka must have designed this one first before the one that I just showed you. The pattern says this was designed as a shawl that you pull over your shoulders. If you have small shoulders, it might drape a bit like a poncho. Larger shoulders, it's designed to be a long drapey cowl. There's a variety of stitches to keep it interesting, and it's designed for solids, speckles, variegated, or a combination of all three. It tends to grow with length after blocking, so you may end up with a longer garment, which doesn't really matter, more merino for snuggling into this winter. So this is also the same way. It's knit top down. There's a cowl section at the top. You can't really see it very well from this picture. But one thing I really liked was she provided you with a schematic that you could use to sort of draw out how you want your colors to look. So, and there's patterning involved as well in this, but as far as what you want your colors to look like, so I picked 3 colors that I thought would look very complementary to each other. And I think my daughter with her skin complexion looks beautiful in red. So I picked out this red as one of the colors. This is actually a color that I dyed a few years ago when I first started playing around with dye colors, and I was still dyeing in my kitchen, and I just loved this red. It's sort of a tonally kind of red. It's got some darker shades and some lighter shades in there. So this is going to be pretty much like the main color in the shawl, and it's definitely going to be the color at the top where it's closest to her face. So I'm going to use red. Then I'm going to use this really pretty mushroom color. This is also a color that I dyed, I think, back in the spring when I was testing out some colors. So I'm going to use these together. And then I have another Yarnable colorway. This one is called Apple Crisp. I'm not sure when this was from, maybe last fall or the fall before. But this is another Yarnable colorway when I was getting her subscription. I'm thinking about getting her subscription again, but I want to use some of my Yarnable stash that I have first. So this is knocking 2 skeins of Yarnable out. But this is a beautiful pinky red and sort of some tan colors in there with some green speckles. Looks just like an apple crisp dessert. Very fall-like. And I thought the 3 of these together looked really, really pretty. It's got lots of contrast. So 2 tonal colors plus a variegated colorway I thought would look really pretty, all 3 together. So this one is going to be for Olivia, and I'm thinking I will start this one soon because I want to give this to her for Christmas as well. So I've got 2 Christmas knits to finish. I've got my mom's blanket, I've got this one, and I need to make one more Memories of Paris cowl. I will talk about those on the next podcast episode because I think this episode is going to be too long otherwise. I did pull out the ones that I've made so far. The Memories of Paris cowl is a pattern that I designed earlier this year, and I'm making one for each of the my siblings, my sisters, and my mom. So I've got 3 made so far. I need to make one more and possibly 2 more because there's another person in my family that I may want to gift one to. Well, I would love to gift one to all of the ladies in my family, but I definitely have to make at least one more. So we shall see how that goes. But I'll talk all about those and I'll show you those again on the next episode. Is there anything else? Let's look over my notes real quick. Oh, the other future plans that I have, future plans / dream knitting, are these socks that I'm going to put up now. They are called the Back to the 80s socks. They're like a slouchy leg sock that everybody wore in the 80s. Remember when people stacked their socks like 3 and 4 high? I don't even know how people fit into their shoes when they did that, when they had 4 pairs of socks on. But anyway, these are super cute. They remind me so much of the 80s. And they're actually a DK weight sock. You use 2 different colors, and you the top part that gives it that big squishy look is actually brioche. I've never knit brioche in a brioche pattern before, and I really want to. So I'm gonna purchase this pattern, and I'll link everything below to the pattern. And one of the designers, I think there were 2 designers for this pattern. They did a collaboration. And Malene, who is the playful knitter, and hi Malene if you're watching, they designed this sock pattern together. And definitely check out Malene's podcast. I'm not sure about the other designer, if she has a podcast or not, but the Playful Knitter podcast is such a lovely, lovely podcast to watch. So I highly recommend that. I'll link that below as well. So I'm going to talk all about the yarn that I'll use for that, because I'm pretty sure I could use one of our DK weight sock sets that have the 2 20-gram minis. I don't know. I have to look at the pattern and the yardage and see if I could use one of those. But I'll pick out yarn for that. And I'm going to purchase the pattern and get started on those as well, because they're just super cute, and I think they'd be really good to have for winter time. I've been wanting to make another pair of DK weight socks, and I was going to do those fade ones, but I think I'll wait on those and do something with this pattern, because I really want to learn how to do brioche. And I thought a sock pattern with a small circumference wouldn't be too overwhelming to learn how to knit brioche. So, and they're just super, super cute. So, anything else? I think that's it. Don't forget that tomorrow is the Grinch mystery set. We're going to call it Mean and Green. I showed you the inspiration picture for it already. There will be the inspiration picture will also be on Etsy on the listing as well, and you have the option to purchase the needle stoppers that are a mystery to go with the Grinch. So thank you guys so much for watching. I just am so appreciative of everyone who takes their time to watch this and support our business and support this podcast. Thank you for all of your comments and your likes and your shares. And I have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know each and every one of you. So thank you so much when you reach out and say hello. So thank you all so much for watching. I love and appreciate every single one of you for all of your support and everything that you bring to this community. I will see you again next time for the next podcast episode. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me or message us on Etsy or Instagram or Facebook. We check all of those ways and we'll be able to answer any questions that you may have, or just comment and say hello and tell me what you're working on and tell me how you are doing. So thank you so much. I will see you again in a couple of weeks. Bye.